You ready? Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to call to order our October 7th meeting for Children, Seniors, and Family Committee. And in order to establish a quorum, we're going to start by taking roll.
Okay. Vice Chairperson Young? Here. And Chairperson Arenas?
I'm also here.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Wonderful. And we're going to move on to public comment. For those of you who are here, you can fill out the yellow card, or for those who are online, you can raise your virtual hand. Camille, can you let us know if there's any speakers for public comment?
We have one request online and none in chambers. So just one request.
Two requests?
Just one.
Just one request. Okay, so we will go ahead and do 3 minutes for...
Okay. So our speaker is Parent. Parent, you will have 3 minutes to speak. The timer will begin when you begin speaking. Okay. There seems to be an issue, some technical issue. We'll give you a little bit just to see if we can resolve that.
Good morning.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning to you all. I wanted to run by you guys an idea about a public service announcement that we could do for this county in warning parents that it's possible that your children will be sexually molested or even physically abused, and the county won't do anything to protect them. I think that it's fair to say that no parent wants to roll the dice and have their children be abused, and nobody even would care that it's happening. You guys know that I've told you guys many times that my kids are being abused, and because somebody who's well connected is involved, I can't even get a screening for them. And I think with this public service announcement, I mean, parents can decide for themselves. Do we want to stay in Santa Clara County, or do we want to leave? And people who are considering moving here, they can also take this into consideration. I think that parents should be able to do their due diligence, and we should be honest with them and tell them really what's going on in this county. Because when a child, he says that somebody was raping him beginning at the age of 13, and there'd been unnecessary bathing with the children, and there was sexual contact between two of the children, and all of this, it caused the children to be in constant distress. I think that it's fair to say that we'd all say that these children, they deserve a screening. But this county is just not that way, and there are favorites. There are child abusers who are given favoritism. So please, let's get a public service announcement. Let's be honest with the community, and so then parents can decide for themselves what they want for their children. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and that concludes public comment.
Thank you. We're going to move into item number 3, which is approving the consent calendar and changes to the committee agenda. Currently, we have items 10 and 11 on consent. Is there any other changes for my vice chair on this?
I have no additional changes and move to approve the consent calendar as is.
Wonderful. And I'll second that. Camille?
Okay. And just to note, we don't have any requests to speak on this item. And now I'll call roll. Vice Chairperson Young?
Yes.
And Chairperson Arenas?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Perfect. So we are going to move into our regular agenda and receive a report from Behavioral Health Services relating to School Link Services Initiative programs and projects. Welcome.
And I'm the Children and Youth Director for Behavioral Health Services Department. And today I have Catherine Aspiris with me, and our, my gosh, I'm blanking on her name now.
Kati Robles.
Kati, our beloved Kati, who will be running the PowerPoint for a short presentation that we will provide now. Thank you.
Good morning, Supervisor Arenas and Supervisor Drung. My name is Catherine Spears. I'm the Division Director with Behavioral Health, overseeing the school-based services and the early intervention programs. Today I'll be sharing our schooling services semi-annual report that was due to be reported in September, and we'll be reporting our fiscal year 25 highlights as well as our updates. I will be providing some updates related to our schooling services programming, and next slide, please, as well as our multi-tiered system of supports and framework. We'll provide updates to our programs and updates to our projects, such as the school-based wellness centers, and then discuss some next steps related to sustainability and service expansion. Next step, please. To ground us in our discussion today, Schooling Services has aligned with the school's multi-tiered system of supports framework, providing supports for services under Tier 1 related to all students, universal strategies, and for available to all. Tier 2, providing targeted and supplemental support to address risks such as student skill groups and parenting groups. And then lastly, Tier 3 services, where a selected number of individuals would receive support to remediate some significant challenges. This includes individual therapy, targeted case management, medication support, and crisis intervention. Next slide, please. So in fiscal year 25, our student demographics for the Schooling Services Family Engagement Program, which includes partnerships with 27 school districts, where they employ schooling services coordinators to coordinate services. Over 7,400 students were served, providing referral and linkage to supports. Majority of the students were Latino, Latinx at 77.9%. 38.7% in grades K through 5, and majority of the students served were 52% male. Next slide. In addition to the 7,400 students that were served through the Family Engagement Program, the schooling services coordinators received 11,906 referrals, which facilitated and also facilitated and organized 1,148 family engagement one-time events, which over 1,400 or 140,000 attendees attended these events. The SLS coordinators also hosted 241 family engagement workshop series, which was attended by over 28,000 students and families. Another program under our Schooling Services Initiative includes our Prevention and Early Intervention Program. And through this program, an additional 24,000 students and families participate in universal supports and strategies, such as skill streaming and parenting workshops. The Prevention and Early Intervention Program also provides behavior support services to students, and over 3,000 students were served. Lastly, the program also provides early intervention treatment services, and over 1,100 students were served. Our Tier 3 supports is our outpatient to intensive outpatient program that provides services to students on school campuses. And in FY25, we served over 1,000 students receiving outpatient treatment on school campuses. Next slide. This slide shows the multi-year data between fiscal year 22 to 25. And since the pandemic and over time, the Schooling Services Family Engagement Program has seen a slight increase in students served and a 23% increase in referrals received. Family engagement activities continue to be highly attended, with over 140,000 students and families attending in FY25. We did see a slight decrease by 10% in attendance from FY24 to 25. And the schooling services coordinators reported that families are expressing an increase in anxieties and fears around the threat of immigration enforcement activities in their communities, which impact their willingness to attend in-person events. So many of our services, our family engagement events, have also moved to online or in the community where they feel safe. Next slide, please. We provide surveys to families and to students following the family engagement events. And 95% to 99% of the families express satisfaction and feels more comfortable and welcome at school. They feel knowledgeable and know where to go for help. And overall, they felt that they were connected to the school community. The schooling services coordinators also participated in providing input in their successes and challenges over the year, and the schooling services coordinators shared their successes in building a strong partnership and establishing a positive and collaborative schooling services team. The schooling services coordinators are increasing outreach with more families, and the schooling services coordinators noted that ongoing need for housing support. Next slide, please. Since writing this report, the school-based behavioral health wellness center programs have all been launched. We have 40 school projects through the schooling services school-based behavioral health wellness center grant program, and all 40 projects have been implemented, including the last awarded school, which was Cupertino Middle School, to implement their wellness center. Our focus in FY26 will be to do continuous quality improvement, sustainability, and ongoing data collection of the wellness centers. Next slide, please. Our next steps for the fiscal year 26 include sustainability, and this sustainability includes supporting schools in building their community schools and community-centered approach to sustaining resources near or on a school campus. Our contractor, Santa Clara County Office of Education, has hired a quality improvement and sustainability coordinator to identify potential funding sources, such as the multi-payer schooling fee schedule that is offered by the Department of Healthcare Services, as well as financing models to optimize financial and non-financial assets needed to maintain and improve school mental health. Next slide. The Department of Healthcare Services had put out a schooling partnership and capacity grants for local educational agencies to participate in preparing their infrastructure for the fee schedule implementation. In addition, technical assistance is provided through Santa Clara County Office of Ed. A majority of all school districts in our county is accessing the capacity grants to build the infrastructure and support for the fee schedule. Lastly, the multi-payer fee schedule has been implemented in local education agencies across the state. Locally, local education agencies such as the County Office of Ed and Sunnyvale has been billing under the fee schedule and has received reimbursement so far. Additional next steps includes the universal screening pilot through our grant from the Oversight and Accountability Commission. Engagement with school districts have started and planning has begun to pilot the mental health screening for fiscal year 26. In addition, fiscal year 26, behavioral health will continue to have leadership meetings with school districts and executive steering committee and be a thought partner for the school districts to help prepare for the fee schedule. The Behavioral Health Services Department will continue to review the program's redesign and implementations that began this year to strengthen our system of care. And this concludes our presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. I'm going to first ask Camille if there's anybody in person or online.
We have no request to speak for this item.
Great. So I'm going to look to my wonderful, so Vice Chair. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. And it was a very fulsome report, and I can see that schooling services is an important and necessary program for our communities, and that I really appreciate staff constantly looking for ways to improve and expand. I know it's going to be an ongoing mission throughout the course and the life of schooling services, and I appreciate that. I wanted to ask about if we determine any next steps for the wellness centers in the 5 schools that have closed down that was listed here, and where the students and families who used to attend those wellness centers, if there's a next steps for them.
Yes, so the school district, the wellness centers that we've put funding towards currently is looking at sustainability, and we will be looking at, we have our first round of data collection that's coming in to assess the program and the service delivery, and then hope to do some continuous quality improvement, as well as look through the sustainability planning of how they can maintain those services ongoing once the funding has ended. Of those school sites that closed and they received funding for wellness centers, the school districts, we met with them to see what schools they will be attending and added additional resources from our school-based outpatient program and early intervention program to those school sites to meet the needs of the students. The wellness they do in those schools that they are transferring to or they did transfer to, they have wellness centers already established. And so again, providing resources and support to help maintain those wellness centers.
Oh, I appreciate it. So it sounds like there's continuity plans
Yes.
for each of the families and students who were attending or receiving services from the wellness centers.
Yes.
Yeah, and if they were transferring, are there any situations where they're transferring to schools where there is an existing wellness center?
If there was, we did provide the schooling services coordinator in those school districts with resources to get them connected to our system of care, and also the resources in the community as well as through our county contracted providers.
Yeah, and really, last question, just to make sure that for students in this situation where they're going to a school that's not identified as a school that's already in our system or our programming, does this plan of continuity address that?
Yes, so they would receive services or connected to services through our behavioral health call center or through the provider that is contracted at that school district. So if a student had moved to a school site that doesn't have resources from our county contracted providers, the schooling services coordinator has a plan to connect them to our call center or our contracted providers directly to get them resources and support.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. It sounds like there's a lot of individualized care and attention given to each of the families or students who have been displaced by the school closures. Great, and I guess I kind of lied. That was my last question in that vein of questioning. Just now, my real last question is that with all of our usage of state funds for our programming here, do you expect any impacts from our current federal legislation and budget cuts to impact our resources in this area?
I'm happy to speak to that briefly. I think the answer is unfortunately absolutely yes. as I know the board is aware, but to make sure the community kind of has this broader context, behavioral health as a department is facing significant structural deficits in every single one of its funding sources. So that would be MHSA, 2011 realignment, and then of course, most pertinently based on your question, from the federal Medicaid program, given that the bulk of the funding for behavioral health generally is coming from Medi-Cal, especially for some of its programs. But I think the team can kind of speak specifically to, from the perspective of schooling services, how they're anticipating some of those broader budgetary challenging choices that behavioral health is going to have to make in putting together proposals for consideration for inclusion in the county executive's recommended budget and ultimately decision by the board about where we're investing the now much scarcer resources we're going to have across all behavioral health programming.
Thank you, Greta. That's it for my questions, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to pick up a little bit of where you left off, Vice Chair, because I think it's really important for us to figure out for those kiddos whose wellness centers closed and how they got, I'm glad to hear that they got connected to our system. And so I'm wondering, what is the number of kids that actually connected?
From those closed schools? I actually don't have that number right now, but I can get that to your office, Supervisor, and provide that input from the schooling services coordinators from that district, those districts that closed schools.
Wonderful. And along the same lines, I know that there were some of the kiddos who had received a referral from a previous year, I think it was 882 last year, that they refused or couldn't proceed for some reason with the referral. Is there any way that we are following up with those kiddos? Because obviously that's, they're being flagged for a reason. And maybe it wasn't the right moment at that time, but things change and typically things get worse, right? If there aren't any services to help support our kids. Is there any system that's set up, or can we set up a system so that we can follow up with any of those kiddos and families that have refused or haven't accepted for whatever reason?
Yes, definitely. We can connect with our schooling services coordinators to see about, because they do track the referrals and the status of the referrals, to perhaps possibly follow up with the family after a couple of weeks to check in with them, and look at seeing if we need to initiate a new referral and build that outreach to the family. But yes, we could connect with our county contracted providers and the schooling services coordinators about developing that process.
I got it. So currently, we wait for a new referral, is the process. But what you're telling me is that we could explore something in the interim to connect those two, right? Those kiddos that might have declined for whatever reason. And now, I really appreciate that. That's wonderful. I'm also wondering about the utilization. I was very impressed with the number of kiddos who were accessing the services, and I was really impressed. I think it was 52% were Latino boys, right? And which tells me, for whatever reason, our services are speaking to them. And so I'm wondering, is there something different that we are doing? What has shifted? What's changed? The breakdown of the numbers doesn't tell me what schools, so I don't know, right? It's a general number. It would be great to figure out, like, what is one school doing over the other, or one school district doing over the other, that is creating that attraction or that acceptance from some kiddos that normally I would think wouldn't step up. Boys maybe not stepping up into behavioral health services as much as young girls would, but maybe that's just an assumption of mine that is outdated.
Well, I know that with our schooling services programs and our coordinators, they have been attending like restorative justice practices trainings and looking at alternatives to disciplinary referrals. So having students connected to behavioral health or to other peer mentorships as opposed to office disciplinary referrals. They have been doing a lot of outreach and engagement, both our county contracted providers and the schooling services coordinators. But we can definitely look into seeing if there's any trends that they're seeing about connecting and the success that they're connecting with Latino boys.
And thank you. I think the restorative justice alternative, and this being an alternative, is fantastic. I would love to see what a little bit more about how that story unfolds, and if those kiddos who accepted behavioral health services had any recidivism in terms of whatever was their initial issue that brought them into the restorative justice project. I'm a little disappointed that it's restorative justice, the reason why they're in, but I'm also happy at the same time, right? It's a double-edged sword there. I'm really happy that there's this alternative that is not punitive and that they can benefit something from, and so that is fantastic. I just would love to see a little more of the storyline and see what the outcomes were. So maybe we prevented a school suspension. I'd love to see how we can connect some of the stories of the kiddos who are accessing services. That's really important. I know that there is trends by school districts to see. I'd love to see a little more, and as we both recognize just right now, that the information is kind of molded together with the 27 districts, and I'm trying to figure out how can we look at some school trends kind of in the line of what we're talking about, right? So what is some schools doing that is and doing well? And regardless of whether it's restorative justice or not, I just think it's bears recognition on our part to figure out what is working. And of course, one school population and strategies that work there may not work for another one. But I'm wondering if there's any best practices that you're noting from some of the trends that you're seeing right now.
Yes, we can look into the best practices and look into school districts specifically, possibly even schools. We have reprogrammed our program per se, so we are able to look more in detail with the school district data and our school site data. And we can look at the trends that we're seeing as well as what's happening at the beginning of treatment per se and then their outcomes.
Got it. That is wonderful, wonderful. So I know that there is a lot of changes that we are going to go through in terms of our budget. How are we preparing our school districts with that information? And what is the expectation? Because I know that every department must make reductions, and I want to know what is the strategy and the formula that you're using if and when there are reductions in the budget.
We're currently working on doing a deep analysis of our programs and the services that are being provided to see how we can best align services to be able to continue to provide services, knowing that some services will not be able to continue, particularly around the transition from MHSA to BHSA and taking into account our core services and our mandates. We know that we will have to redesign some of our programs and services to be able to continue to provide our core services for BHSD. Catherine has been having conversations with the school districts so that there is an understanding from them that we will have to be making some shifts for the next fiscal year.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly what that means, but here's my concern is that you're already switching formats because the anxiety of the kids is increasing, right? So you're doing online services, and this is related to immigration issues. And so if there is a reduction, those kiddos, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here, but I'm going to say it out loud for the sake of the record, that if we reduce the kind of services that we think are really working for our kids, we are leaving our kids with a very high anxiety, fear-driven behavior, and that has repercussions along not being able to learn, and then also having an increased potentially in acting out and in violence, right? And so I want to make sure that you're very careful about how you are going to reduce these services. And Greta, I'm also going to share that with you because this is the ultimate prevention. You've done so much work to get into the school sites, to build the wellness centers, to build the system, and then we're going to let it flop because we have reductions. And while I understand that there's reductions, this is one of the best ways to invest in our kiddos that I think pays off in the long run. And so I'm wondering what is going to really be the future for SLS?
Yeah, I think you're really speaking to the heart of the most painful part of the behavioral health budget reality that we're staring down right now, which, just to flesh out something that Zelia mentioned, the core mandate, the mandate that we can't not do for behavioral health is providing Medi-Cal beneficiaries who've already been diagnosed with serious mental illness or significant substance use disorder with the core services they need where they've really already fallen into that deep challenge. As a department, historically, our behavioral health department has leveraged all the opportunities under some of the funding frameworks that are now changing to really build out this very significant prevention and young person oriented care infrastructure, and we want to make it bigger, not smaller. But just to as the state has shifted from MHSA to this BHSA framework, some of the resources we've used to build out those services are now shifting away from us, as we have to start cutting back on the non-mandated components of our work. Some of the resources that we'll have to use to preserve those core mandated services, many of which are for adults, given the realities of who's most significantly affected by diagnosed serious mental illness and substance use disorder, is going to shift services in exactly the way we don't want to. And I think your comments are channeling you don't want to too. So it's challenging, because also just sort of the cadence of our budget process is we're going to be working all the way till the 11th hour to do exactly what I hear you and your colleagues asking for, which is trying to come up with every strategy we possibly can to really continue our prevention-oriented investments while also doing what we're legally mandated to do for the populations that we have to serve that are kind of on the deep end, who've already not been able to be prevented from going down that path through these prevention-oriented services. So I think it's critical, and I appreciate the confirmation from staff that we're really flagging for school districts that we're concerned at this point. That's what we know. And then as soon as there's clarity on even what is maybe on the menu for the board's consideration, we'll obviously be in much deeper conversation with our partners so that they can know. But one of the challenges I think we face in all of our interactions with the community is just, these decisions for the next fiscal year and the kind of pace of our budget process doesn't allow there to be certainty until pretty far into the year about what services will be able to preserve and what services will be impacted. And so we just have to do our very best to keep people as apprised as we can as they walk with us down what will be a very, very difficult budget year this year, and then realistically also the following year, because we're facing year-over-year reductions. And of course, we're hopeful that Measure A will yield some relief, but that obviously is something we won't know for a month. And then obviously even with Measure A, we'll be facing still really challenging budget season both this year and next year.
Completely understand, and what I want from the staff is to give me an approximate amount that is spent on our kiddos who are either level 1, level 2, or level 3, because I want the board to have information to make good decisions. And then for the 52% of those Latinos boys who are using our services, and I'm going to say that primarily probably from restorative justice, the alternative is that if they don't participate, they'll end up in our ranch or our juvenile hall. And I want to know what the cost is per child to house them in juvenile hall or the ranch, because that is our alternatives. When we don't invest, we are going to pay for it in another way. And I want to know also if you're encouraging, for the sake of providing services, our mandated core services, are we encouraging the diagnosis? Although I know this is very controversial, but if we bring in our kiddos and they have a diagnosis for service, then it is our mandate to continue to serve them. And I don't know if that's part of the effort in order to continue services in maybe some of the high-need populations or elsewhere. If those patients are part of what we think is our core service, I don't know if there's any effort to increase.
Yeah, I think our team can speak to this, and you please correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think, so the answer to your question is yes. I think historically and certainly in the present, the behavioral health team has done a great job of trying to identify as many children in the community as possible who qualify for their mandated services. And in fact, if anything, we've been sort of needing to be careful not to be too much of an outlier across California of screening kids in to our services, because that's something that the state does review pretty carefully and has actually implemented a number of tools that really guide that work. But Zoe, I don't know if you can provide just a little bit more detail.
I think we always encourage our staff and our programs to do what's clinically appropriate. So if a child is meeting what we call medical necessity for a diagnosis, we absolutely want them to have that diagnosis so that we can provide the specialty mental health services that they need. I wanted to add a couple of other comments here because some of the work that we've been doing with the school districts has also been around encouraging them to participate in the fee schedule, and I think this will be work that we'll be doing through the collaborative with county and schools. Because they are going to play a really, really important role in being able to draw funds, state funds, to provide mental health services for children and youth who have more mild to moderate needs, if you will. And for those that meet that medical necessity for a more acute diagnosis, we will be, those are our core services, those are our mandated services, we would be able to provide those. But we really need the schools to be able to participate in that fee schedule because they're able to directly draw funds from the state to provide services for more like the tier 1, tier 2 types of services that Catherine was talking about, so that we can really focus on our tier 3 services,
Right.
which is the more individualized treatment for children, for youth, for families, etc.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not trying to have our children diagnosed more than they should. Absolutely, when it's medically, when there's a medical necessity to do that. I know that it's very controversial for our kiddos to be labeled in a certain way. I'm only asking because this is the way that we pay for services. And what I'm wondering next is that if and I think it's only Oak Grove and Sunnyvale at this point that are up and running on Medi-Cal reimbursement, correct?
It's also other school districts that are participating in it. There's Mountain View, Wisman, Mountain View, Los Altos. There's quite a number of school districts.
Oh, okay. I thought I only caught Sunnyvale, Scoey, obviously, and Oak Grove. But I'm glad to hear Mountain View and Los Altos. I'm trying to figure out if you can help us figure out, because it's not broken down by school districts once again, the schools that are used in the tier 3 or that have the higher needs are the schools that I'm going to guess have less resources to actually invest in the Medi-Cal reimbursement framework and setup. Are you making additional efforts to support those school districts in order to get them online, just like the rest of the school districts that we just mentioned?
Yes, through the Wellness Center grant program, there was funding available for infrastructure, along with the Department of Healthcare Services putting in those funds for the infrastructure, the capacity grants. So majority of the school districts are utilizing those funds to help build the infrastructure to be able to bill, not just for Medi-Cal, but commercial plans as well. And so this will allow them to submit claims to the third party, draw down from their commercial plans or Medi-Cal plans, and then get directly reimbursed to the school districts.
And that's through the wellness centers?
So the wellness centers has infrastructures funding, and then also all of the local educational agencies that are participating in the capacity grant with County Office of Ed received
Right.
funding as well.
Maybe if you can include in the update that I'm asking you regarding the cost of the services for each of the kiddos and for the breakdown of the numbers, to also include exactly that. Who? Okay, I won't review it, but I think it's really important for me to learn who's actually receiving what. It's really difficult to delineate when it's all in one kind of bucket, if you will. I mean, I appreciate the picture it relays, because it is a lot of success, and I think there's a lot of really good things that are happening. I'm just afraid that those school districts that don't have resources are the ones that are being left behind. And it sounds like Sunnyvale, Mountain View, Los Altos are probably school districts that have a little more resource. And I haven't, and Oak Grove is in South San Jose, it's in my school, it's in my district, but I haven't heard any of the other school districts that I normally, I think, would, that receive more CPS referrals and calls and concerns about. So I'd like to see that storyline, if you will, a little bit more. Okay, so those were my questions. I'm going to make a motion to approve and to ask for, well, let me ask this. Greta, is this being cross-referenced to our board?
The schooling services report?
When is
I
it
don't
going-
think it normally does come to the full board. We could, if you did want to send it to the full board, I think we could include it as a portion of our quarterly report to the board from behavioral health.
That would be wonderful. Yes,
Okay, we can
I-
include that.
Perfect. And with the additional items that I outlined earlier, that would be wonderful.
Great, and just with the chair's permission, I think we'll just need to make sure we figure out exactly what timeline we'll need to make sure we can include those additional items you've requested, and then we'll assign it to whatever is the next in line quarterly report from behavioral health.
Perfect, thank you. And so then the motion is to receive the report, cross-reference it to the board, and include the items that were discussed in the meeting. And hopefully I'll get a second.
Second.
Wonderful. Okay, let's go ahead and call roll.
Okay. Vice Chairperson Young
Yes.
and Chairperson Arenas.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. And next, we're going to go to item 5, which is receiving the report relating to fiscal year 2025, 2026 annual work plans and budgets, if any, for the following commissions supported by the Office of the Clerk and the Board, and forward to the Board of Supervisors for approval. That is a very strange header for that item, but yet that's what it is. Love to hear this presentation from our commissions. I think there's 2 of them being presented today.
So we do have the co-chairperson of the Youth Task Force online, if you'd like to have them start off.
Would love for them to start
Okay,
off.
perfect. So Kendall, you can go ahead. We'll go ahead and spotlight you once you're ready.
Hi, can you all hear me on Zoom?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you and good morning, Chairperson Arenas and Vice Chairperson Young. My name is Kendall Nord and I'm a 12th grader at Mountain View High School and one of the co-chairs of the Santa Clara County Youth Task Force, or as we like to refer to it, the YTF. I'm very excited to provide an overview of our fiscal year 2025 to 2026 YTF work plan goals. As you are likely aware, the YTF assists and advises the Board of Supervisors on matters pertaining to youth. And in our recommendations, we make it a priority to incorporate our key values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. At our annual retreat in August, YTF members came together to develop and establish our work plan goals for the year. For 2025 to 2026, we have 2 primary goals. Our first goal is to conduct a homelessness survey to identify service gaps, assess student needs, and inform actionable policy recommendations. The Homelessness Subcommittee is currently finalizing survey questions that will be shared with school administrators in partnership with YTF members' respective schools. Our wonderful YTF liaison, Melissa, has also been communicating with the Office of Supportive Housing and the Youth and Young Adults Initiative staff. We look forward to their partnership, guidance, and insight once we begin survey data analysis and potentially collaborating on a youth event sometime next year. Our second goal is focused on outreach. The YTF would like to conduct more intentional outreach efforts to expand awareness of the YTF across all regions and communities of the county. Given that we will be graduating over half of our current commissioners in June, we hope to design an outreach strategy to support the recruitment of new YTF members. We also want to emphasize inclusivity and county-wide representation by participating in events or opportunities such as tabling and voter registration drives, as well as publishing more consistently on our YTF Instagram account. Lastly, I'd love to share that although this is not one of our work plan goals, our liaison, Melissa, has been extremely helpful in working with the board offices to invite each supervisor to come and speak with YTF members at our monthly meetings. This gives us a chance to not only learn more about each supervisor and their priority areas, but also get better acquainted with our appointing supervisors. We look forward to continuing to meet and hear from each supervisor, and I believe that we will get to see Supervisor Young tomorrow at our YTF meeting, which is very exciting and greatly appreciated. The YTF would also welcome the opportunity for Supervisor Arenas or your staff to come to an upcoming YTF meeting as well. That concludes my report, and the YTF is excited to continue our work this year. I'm happy to answer any and all questions you may have.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the information. We are going to check in with Camille to see if there's any speakers.
We do not have any requests to speak.
Perfect. I'm going to go to my vice chair. Go ahead.
Just want to take this opportunity to thank YTF for their incredible work looking at the strategic plan and seeing that our youth has really prioritized the most pressing issues facing our board and our communities today. So I look forward to our meeting tomorrow and also to continue to be a thought partner to your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I'm also happy to join you in a future meeting. Thank you so much for the invitation. I look forward to seeing how your survey is utilized in identifying issues. I think it's really important that you first ask that question and then figure out, in order to really gain a better understanding and figure out some of the recommendations from there on. And so I'm looking really forward to seeing all the really great work from the Youth Task Force. And we will reach out to you for a future meeting so we can visit. Thank you so much for the presentation. Is there any comments or questions you would like to ask before we conclude?
I don't think so. Thank you so much for both of your time.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your school day. Hopefully, we didn't create too much impact. Thank you for coordinating all of this and for your leadership with our Youth Task Force. All right. With that, I'm going to move to our Human Rights Commission. Oh, and I'd like to say to Kendall, please, good luck on your final. I know that you have one today.
Oh, thank you so much. It actually got moved to tomorrow because of a schedule change at school, but thank you very much.
Kendall, it is your lucky day. It's probably because you came and presented here.
Absolutely, that's definitely the reason.
All right, good luck.
Thank
All right.
you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Hello,
Welcome.
I'm Brian Franzen, and Chair of the Human Rights Commission, and I saw Betty last night, and both of you at a lot of the events that I'm doing through my professional job as a pastor at Westminster Church, addressing a lot of the needs that our community is facing. As we know, we are in a crisis in our world, and we are in a crisis in the time, and the Human Rights Commission is trying to step up and support the council and support you in the ways in which you need to highlight the human rights abuses and needs in our community. For the next year, we plan to continue our work, especially as it relates to issues of immigration. We have a wonderful and educated commission that is working on those issues. Right now, one group is finalizing a task force that we created to look into some of the laws around immigration issues and some ways in which the county has been looking at the issue and some ways that we can better address that. We are also looking at other human rights concerns in our communities, especially as it relates to the LGBTQ community. and how the impacts of things that are going on in the federal government and state government are impacting those communities, obviously the immigrant communities, and other communities that we are facing. We are putting forward the needs that are out here and trying to listen and respond to so many things that are going on as a community. We look forward to being an arm of you to help you out, to hold the conversations that need to be held, and to support the council in the ways in which the council needs to be supported.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to check and see if we have any public comment before we start any conversations.
We do have one request to speak online.
Wonderful. We'll go ahead with 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. So our speaker is Parent. Parent, you'll have 2 minutes to speak. The timer will begin when you begin speaking.
Yes, I addressed the Human Rights Commission on several occasions about what's going on in our county in regards to child abuse, and also the district attorney's office. I'm being assaulted and prosecuted at the same time. I didn't even commit a crime, and the whole goal of this prosecution is to cover up the sexual abuse of my kids, and I've suffered great bodily harm from this. And I really think that the Human Rights Commission should take a look at this and add this into the work plan, because, I mean, we're talking about all these other places like Ukraine and Israel and Somalia, I don't know where else. But we have these issues right here in this county that our district attorney is authorizing, greenlighting and covering up sexual abuse of children and physical assaults. I mean, I believe he's like the Duterte of Silicon Valley, and we really need to investigate this and put our district attorney on notice, because this is just completely unacceptable. It's a human rights violation, and I believe it's also unlawful. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and that concludes public comment.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to move on to a discussion. I'm going to turn to my vice chair and see if there's comments. Yes, go ahead.
A message of gratitude. Just thank you. I see your work plan. Thank you for fulfilling the aspirations and all the goals that were set out in the work plan and following through with that. And just want to acknowledge the quick pivoting of the members of the Human Rights Commission as times on the national landscape and federal landscape continues to change. I see your membership and community, just like how we saw each other last night, responding in real time to emerging issues and being that presence in community, and then taking that back to the commission's work plan and discussion. So I just want to say I see you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your work here. I look forward to continuing to partner with you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll also add to that gratitude, expression of gratitude for standing up for our community. It isn't an easy thing to do. It's not a popular thing to do. And so I truly appreciate it, especially on the heels of so many human rights violations that we have seen, the latest one in Chicago. Obviously, it's not going to be the last city where we have these kinds of attacks on our community in a military-style fashion. And I'm wondering if there is anything that maybe we can, and we can do this offline, we can work with our South County folks, as they are a unique district that has a mixed, a very diverse community, and at times, and it is a community that has farm workers, the last of the farm workers and the last of the agriculture community in this district, in this county. And so I'm hoping that what we could do is work together so we can bring community together with your leadership and see how we can do that that could be South County specific?
We have talked about that in our leadership board, especially since we don't do a lot of stuff down in the South County, and you know, we have batted around the possibility of having a forum or something down there, because, you know, especially in the Gilroy area, we know that there is a lot of tension and worry. So we would love to work with you on doing something down there. And yeah, because I think, you know, we get some voices that come up in our meetings that are asking for some more attention down in that part.
I really appreciated, just last night I was in an event in Morgan Hill that got a little controversial with people shouting in meetings, and it's a little different. Although there's a lot of really good groups rising to the occasion, just like you are in the Human Rights Commission. And there's a wonderful group that is pushing back, as well as a women-led specific group as well. So we're seeing a spurt of really good community organizing. I'd love to bring you down.
And the really neat thing about our commission is that at this point, as the Board of Supervisors, we have a great diverse group of folks that have some great connections. I have connections with the Gandhi Institute that kind of, when you have forums like that, have people ready to kind of de-escalate issues and have those so that they don't break down into fighting, you know, either people that are getting too passionate about the issues or
Right.
people that are trying to fight the issues. That we have that. We have lawyers on our commission that are very, you know, are able to come up with the facts really quickly to also bring down the temperature so that people aren't kind of moving right off of, this is what I feel,
Right.
but really these are the issues that are right in front of us, which is
Right.
is a really, it's a fun time to be on that commission because, you know, it is, I mean, there's a lot to do, but it's also just a great group of people to be working with.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you see your work as such, because we need you out there, and I'll reach out to you offline. I
Great.
just want to thank you for offering that and for letting us know all the really great work that you're accomplishing and hoping to accomplish in this upcoming year. I think the other piece that I just wanted to bring is maybe exploring the topic of disability, especially in certain ethnic groups. We've seen a coalition of disability-based advocacy groups. I think for me that would be an additional thing. We have also seen in the Latino Health Summit how disability there's disability justice issues surrounding especially our youth that lead to, of course, our school to prison pipeline. But it's not only specific to that. I think the disability community is also using their voices to make sure that we continue to include them. And we heard that loud and clear from a previous meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. All right. So thank you so much for everything that you are doing. I will follow up with you offline.
Awesome.
And I don't think, we don't need a, okay. We don't need a motion. You are already approved.
Thank you.
In our eyes. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great meeting.
I believe we may need a motion to forward at least the plans to the Board of Supervisors. Is that correct?
Oh, you're correct, that's right. Yeah, but not to accept the report, but to forward to the board.
Okay.
Motion to forward the work plans to the full board.
Okay.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Thank you. So Vice Chairperson Young
Yes.
and Chairperson Arenas.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Perfect. Okay, we're moving right along to item number 6. This is receiving the report from Office of Children and Families Policy, Social Services relating to fiscal year 2024-2025, annual report, and fiscal year 2025-2026 work plan. Thank you. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning, Chair Arenas and Vice Chair Young. So nice to be here with you. I'm Heidi Emberling, the Director of the Office of Children and Families Policy, and I'm joined by Karina Alvarez and Melissa Liu, Senior Management Analysts with OCFP as well. We have prepared a presentation which I can walk through, or we can answer any questions you may have.
I would like a little bit of a presentation, if that's okay with our vice chair.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So I will start with an overview of our annual report and then cover highlights from our work plan for the current fiscal year 2025-26. So to start off, the Office of Children and Families Policy's vision is that all children and families in Santa Clara County have the supports needed to be safe, to be healthy, to be successful in learning, and to thrive in life. The work plan is guided by 3 core objectives for the office, and that is a policy and analysis objective, which is following and advocating for local, state, and federal policies that facilitate an equity-first, data-driven agenda. Second, looking at collaboration and partnerships across county departments and with external agencies and community that are all focused on improving outcomes for children and families. And also, third, the strategic issues and initiatives, so facilitating the implementation of new initiatives that are innovative and promising that may support and strengthen early interventions and also prevention practices. So to present some of the highlights of our annual report, I first want to thank the staff of the Office of Children and Families Policy, the Board of Supervisors, county external partners who are leaders in this work, serving children and families. And in terms of our policy and analysis objective, we work very closely with Kids in Common and others on the children's data book. So we worked on the 2025 data book. We collaborated with the Intergovernmental Relations team and submitted letters of support for 13 bills this past year. We also partnered with the Office of Budget Analysis to gather both programmatic and service data for the upcoming children's budget. We've been presenting quarterly updates on that project at the Finance and Government Operations Committee, subcommittee. Much of our work relates to collaboration and partnership, and highlights include participating on several local advisory and planning groups. We also support the Youth Task Force, who you just heard from, and 2 commissioners completed a 6-week internship with us this year and in August, and completed projects for the work plan focused on housing instability, as you heard, and educational resources for youth. And the members of the Youth Task Force Mental Health Subcommittee presented their survey results that they worked on last year to the Behavioral Health Services Department's Wellness Center Learning Collaborative. The highlights of that survey on mental health included 56 responses from high school students with the following recommendations. 1, they would like to see hosting more community building events and workshops, increase personal and relatable staff engagement, expand behavioral health services, and offer tours and share more information with students on the wellness centers and what they offer. We also continue to partner with First 5 Santa Clara County to facilitate 3 early care and education initiatives. The Transitional Kindergarten Teacher Equity Initiative, where currently 17 students are participating in that program. The Apprenticeship Initiative, which now has graduated 78 apprentices into the field of early care and education. and the Shared Services Alliance, which has 61 family childcare home provider members who are all working together to support each other in their small home childcare or large home childcare businesses. In addition, the Child Care Expansion Grant Program, which was funded in 2023 by a $15 million investment of Federal American Rescue Plan Act funding to assist child care providers with construction, renovation, operation needs, with a goal of increasing the number of child care enrollments and spaces that are available throughout Santa Clara County. 98% of that grant money has been allocated to an estimated 55 child care expansion grant projects. And in partnership with First Five and also the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, the Office of Children and Families Policy coordinated participation in a project with Stanford's Rapid Survey Project, which has been going on since 2020, since COVID began, to amplify the local experiences of caregivers of children under 6, so the 0 to 5 crowd, for both parents and for educators, early educators. So that partnership resulted in a more expanded and diverse Santa Clara County rapid sample that better reflects the makeup of our local communities. So the number of surveys in Santa Clara County went from 36 to 367 between 2023 and 2025. And the number of Latino respondents increased from 11% to 56%, and Asian respondents from 3% to 20%. So this will offer us more useful data in an ongoing way for consideration as we plan to look at all the recommendations of the Latino Health Assessment, among other efforts going on in the county. So looking forward, as we launch into the current fiscal year, we've created a 2025-26 work plan that identifies current priorities and projects for the office. The work plan is attached to the legislative file, and it includes a detailed summary. But just to highlight some key initiatives, we are planning to launch the County Schools Collaborative that was made reference to in the behavioral health presentation that you just heard. We are continuing to delve deeper into looking at the children's budget in terms of program information and impact data. We are continuing to partner around the data book in terms of looking at population level data and sharing that, so we're all consistently looking at the same indicators. We are continuing the child care expansion grant making, the early care and education workforce supports, and policy and planning projects as detailed in the report. And of course, we're going to continue our support to the Youth Task Force, including hosting their annual retreat, and develop an early care and education blueprint that really focuses on our youngest residents. So this concludes our presentation, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Before we start our conversation, I'll check with Camille for public comment.
We do not have any requests to speak.
Well, that is a shame, but we are going to have a really good conversation. I'll look to my vice chair to see if she wants to start off.
Yeah, thank you. Just thank you for your work, and I appreciate the deep involvement and engagement your team has had with the children's data book and the children's budget. I think that's kind of top of mind for us today. That's been the running theme of the day, and I think with all the board meetings that's been happening. Could you tell me, as we head into some very challenging budgeting processes in the coming years, will you be augmenting or changing how you approach a budget analysis in relation to what we're facing at the state and federal level? In particular, what can we expect to see from the next round of analysis related to the children's budget, and will there be any recommendations or any guidance on where we can prioritize our limited resources?
Absolutely. One of the benefits of being relatively new to the county is that I ask a lot of questions in terms of understanding the children's budget in particular, all the programs that impact children and families in our county. And we're really looking, as all the departments are, in terms of where are our mission critical core programs and really what are the impacts of those programs and how can we really be clear in our communication to you all as we all make decisions moving forward. So that is something that is very at the top of my mind, especially looking at all of that through an equity lens as we do well in this county. And I think we really need to acknowledge that there will indeed be cuts coming, and how we're making those decisions is as thoughtful as we can be.
One thing I would just add, and I'm also looking over at my colleagues to the right on this, but one question that I'm asking folks to look at, I know also a lot of our leaders are asking their teams to explore, is for some of our children and youth, we have them enrolled in a bunch of different programs where they're getting a kind of a small amount of service from a whole lot of different people and programs. Really asking ourselves the question, might we better serve that child or family by having them get a little bit of a deeper service, but through one or two programs? So maybe they'd be enrolled in one service through behavioral health and one service through the Department of Family and Children's Services, rather than kind of a bunch of different touches, in part because we know, if we fear sometimes that we'll have a whole lot of adults involved in a kid's life, but none of whom really deeply understand that child and family. So one of the questions that we're trying to grapple with as we stare down also needing to reduce services, is there opportunities to actually shift the model through which we're serving a family and actually do better by that family while spending less money on a whole variety of programs, none of which may be meeting that family's needs. So that's easier to describe at a conceptual level than to actually pull off, especially because we do know that the needs of families are really diverse. And so having a lot of different programs can sometimes allow us to better meet an individual family's needs. At the same time, that means a lot of overhead is going into funding lots and lots of different programs and services across many different providers. And so some of those are the questions that we're posing, and then teams are doing different analyses to kind of get to the answer. But I wanted to just invite either Dan or Sarah to lean in on this point as well.
Thanks, Greta. I would say that there's a couple different things happening. With regard to the children's budget, one of the projects that Karina has been working really closely on, with OBA on is looking at working with each department to understand a lot more nuanced information about the contracted services. And I think that speaks to what Greta was mentioning, which is that we can look at the types of services across the county that we are spending money on through contracts, and we have more data on kind of categories of services. We can start to talk with departments around outcomes, and we can speak directly with service providers around, the experience of young people and families that are in those programs. I think we're going to need to do that work. The other piece that's really helpful around initiatives like the Schools County Collaborative and the Children's Agenda and other and South County Youth Task Force, where we're in different spaces with providers external to the county, is we can start to understand the broader landscape of services as well, which kind of speaks to the earlier item from behavioral health, where we really want to understand kind of the network of services and how we are working collaboratively to make sure that the experience of the young person, the student, the family member is seamless, and that they're getting the services that they need. The other space I want to mention is the Children and Youth Master Plan. We have these demonstration neighborhoods. Those are really good examples where we can kind of dig deep and understand the experiences in specific communities and how we kind of come together as a system to meet the needs of families. That gives us direct access to how well as a system we're serving families at this point in time. So I think those two demonstration programs are going to be really useful as examples of how we as a system serve children and families. So I hope that's helpful. I know Heidi's starting to be in a lot of these spaces. I've been in the spaces, so that's going to be top of mind, kind of blending the quantitative data, of which we have a lot, because there's a lot of contracts, with the actual experiences of families and young people, which I think we want to understand quickly. So we're fortunate to have like the demonstration sites, South County Youth Task Force, where we can get real-time feedback.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Greta. And of course, thank you, Heidi. What a great year to start a new job where the consequences are so significant. There's no silver lining to what's happening here, but I think if there's a tiny little like shimmer of a lining is that really we don't have the options to be siloed anymore. And we don't have the option, that there's no other options but to collaborate and to better understand how our systems work and dovetail where we can. And I really appreciate the thoughtful approach. You're right, Greta, it's easier said and in a conceptual way than done, but I think what we get to do here will really lay the foundation for the years of rebuilding that is to come. Sarah, I'm really excited. When you mentioned the Children Youth Master Plan, I think that's one prime example, and Supervisor Arenas, thank you for bringing that here to the county. I think not knowing what was going to happen this year, right? Like that, it comes at a perfect time. Just the event we were all at last week in celebration of the launch of the demonstration project, it gives us the opportunity to co-locate services in community with city and community-based partners so that families don't have to go from office to office. Sometimes relying on public transportation to make these appointments and then having this no wrong door design to everything. So that's just my way of saying, let's lean into that. I think that's really the way we turn $1 into $5 and to make sure that services and resources continue to meet our families' needs. And, not an easy job on a good year, but in this time, we're really going to look to you, Heidi, and your team in office and also our leadership to really understand where we need to make the investments. I think across all the programs and across all the presentations we're receiving at the board and through various committees, especially where children, youth, and families are involved, it's, and also with behavioral health, where do we focus on mandated versus non-mandated, prevention, early intervention, deep intervention, all that is so necessary, right? And just how to backfill some of those gaps as they come. So welcome, Heidi. If I didn't say that before, I apologize, but just welcome to the county organization. Thank you for taking on this challenge. Thank you to your team for presenting today. I want to give a shout out. I see Paul Murphy in the audience. Paul, you were with Valley Health Foundation during the distribution of ARPA funds to expand our child care capacity. And so I know you personally manage every single distribution with deep thought and care. So just thank you for that. Okay, thank you. No more questions, Chair, from me.
Thank you. I'm going to ask about, so I know that I know these are just the project highlights. And let me just say this. I know that you come from early childhood arena, and we work from what we know, which I think is fabulous. I also worked for First Five for 10 years, and so it's definitely in my heart. And I think what First Five has done in terms of being a stakeholder that an agency or a commission that holds the issues and the priorities of children 0 through 6 in a way that I haven't seen anywhere else, right? There isn't a system of care that is developed for school-age children or for children 8 through 18. There's nobody really holding those issues together. And I think when I hear about, we're going to reduce services and how are we going to provide deeper, maybe services in place-based areas, because we're hoping that that's going to be effective, yet there isn't a group that's telling us, that's doing the research in the way that First Five is doing, to tell us this is the best way to provide services. These are the best practices. This is something that we have learned throughout the years. And I'm really hoping that we can build towards that, because the idea that school-age children and our young folks don't get that attention that they obviously continue to need, to me is it makes me really nervous, because nobody's holding their issues together comprehensively with a bit of a storyline, giving us the bigger picture about what is happening to them, in the same way that we are learning and have learned how important early childhood quality care is to young kids. And as kids grow older, parents start not volunteering in the same way in junior high and high school, obviously probably because the students don't want them on campus. And so there is kind of a separation, if you will, from those kiddos. And so I'm hoping to hear from you, how will you be able to address, whether it's in this work plan or in some of the areas that some of the objectives in the work plan, how can we begin to work on this kind of building of the comprehensive picture and best practices, research-based strategies that could help us make decisions in the long run for our youth beyond 6?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think the County Schools Collaborative work is going to be one way in which we're looking at that. I think looking at collaborations not only across county departments, but also with the external partners, including those school districts. How are they serving all of the priority students, priority districts that we are where we're looking at critical student needs? And I think that is that age group that you're talking about. In particular, also looking at the youth task force in a way of actually talking to students and having students report back how what their experiences are, for example, of the wellness centers and services offered to them. They're now looking at homelessness and how that's impacting students. So I think utilizing student voice in whatever collaboratives that we move forward with is really going to be a key factor in understanding their experiences and their needs as well. So I've always been a big proponent of that too.
Perfect. I love that. Yet I'm still wondering, how do we put all of the information together in terms of creating a more comprehensive picture of our youth? And I'm thinking about the Bill of Rights, our Child and Youth Bill of Rights, and the report that Kids in Common produces on an annual basis. I think that may be a good vehicle for us to utilize along with the school-county collaborative, and then joining forces with our school link services, marrying kind of those things together. What I'm looking for is a level of advocacy that, and not necessarily like a gatekeeper, but the role that First Five plays in advocating, in funding, in moving forward the importance of early childhood quality care has been very crucial. Obviously, it's years and years in the making, decades. I just love to see us move in that direction, not only because the voices of children 6 through 18 need to be heard, but also because we're coming into this time period where, as policymakers, we need to figure out how are we going to accept the reductions that are being recommended to us, right? And part of that, to me, would be helpful, would be some of the research that has been shown to be effective and efficient and best practice, and maybe research-based as well, so that we can move along in those reductions, knowing that even though there's going to be less, that we are maybe deepening our support, or that we are just being effective with programs and services that are going to remain. To me, that's one of the biggest things that I'm thinking about as we come to our next fiscal year. And obviously, some of the reductions that are going to continue to happen. I know in mid-year, correct, Greta, there's
Unfortunately,
100 million.
Unfortunately, yes, we are asking Santa Clara Valley Healthcare to bring forward approximately 200 million in cuts during the mid-year process to start implementation of what will be a broader set of cuts that are going to be necessary. So there will be other probably reductions brought forward in addition to those, but it's 200 million that we're asking Santa Clara Valley Healthcare to bring forward at mid-year alone.
Yeah, it is dreary, but I'm so glad that you're on board, that you're leading these discussions and this work plan in a very thoughtful way. I saw the list of legislation that you're supporting, writing letters of support. I think that's fabulous. It was it was a myriad of things, and so it spoke to a lot of different age brackets, and I'm really happy about that. I think in lieu of not having a first 6 through 18, that we are kind of the de facto, if you will, and maybe the county schools collaborative could be that de facto at one point or another. And for me, the end point would be for us to continue to, when we fund agencies, that we fund agencies aligned with the best practices, with the research-based information to help provide services in the most effective manner to our families, as we will have to have cuts. Okay, so that's my piece about just in general what I'm looking for from your office to help us be that guide. The other thing is I wanted to add under your objective of policy analysis is to, and this is under this strategy of utilizing key data sources to identify policy needs that align with county strategies, is to add a project that, and I know you already said it, I just want to make sure that it is integrated into the work plan, and this is conduct a comprehensive review of LHA findings focusing on outcomes that affect Latino children and families to identify where current county policies and programs aren't adequately addressing disparities. And of course, the developmental stage would be all ages. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And one of the first things I did when I got to First Five was to look at all of the data that we had from a disaggregated perspective so that we could really see the impact on different populations throughout the county. So that's work that I'm not only comfortable with, but also I think is of primary importance as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to make a motion to accept the report and to include in the item what I just read off under policy and an analysis. And then second, and this is under the LHA item. And then under South County Youth Task Force, I'd like to just add under collaboration and partnerships in the first item that says participation on county and other regional advisory bodies with goal of advancing children and family well-being. I'd like to just have us add the South County Youth Task Force specifically. And that would be it. I think overall, I've just expressed my I would love to get a second on that.
Second.
Perfect. And overall, I think you just hear my concern about how overall, I think we needed this arch of advocacy for children's beyond 6 for our systems to continue to serve in a more strategic way. All right. Thank you so much, Heidi. I appreciate the presentation, the work on the work plan, of course, Sarah, for your leadership under this office. I know that you've been doing double work, and so now you have some additional support, and I'm so happy. I know that you came just in time.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and call roll for this vote.
Okay, Vice Chairperson Young
Yes.
and Chairperson Arenas.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Perfect. All right, so moving right along, so we have 3 more items. The next item is item 7, receive report from the Office of County Executive relating to the South County Youth Task Force Strategic Plan Implementation. Welcome. Oh, they're coming. So lovely to see you all here.
Thank you. Chairperson, item number 7 is highlighted. I don't know if you wanted to go with that item first.
Oh, I thought I was reading item 7. Oh, that's so strange. Okay, I have.
We're happy to sit here and get set up, and we'll be ready to go when item number 8 is ready.
Oh, okay. So I thought item 7, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Camille, I thought it was receiving a report from the Department of Family and Children's Services relating to the Child Welfare Corrective Action Plan. Is that not, did we have a change in our agenda?
Yes, I believe that's what I have for item
You have
7
that as
as
well?
well.
Michaela?
Yeah, I have that as well. We just haven't done the corrective action plan quite yet.
So the folks down at the staff table are ready to present on item 8 after we hear item 7.
Yeah, okay. I think, I'm sorry. I made the mistake. I'm like going way ahead. I said there's 3 items left, and I worked on the second to the last item. So thank you. I apologize, and apologize to the
No
folks
problem,
from our DFSCS folks for skipping you. But here we are. Go ahead and welcome and begin your presentation.
Thank you, Chairperson Arenas, members of the committee. My name is Casey Halkin. I'm a Deputy County Executive, and I'm joined here with my colleagues from the DA's office, and I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Good morning, Adam Flores, Supervising Deputy District Attorney with the District Attorney's Office. I supervise the Community Prosecution Unit, our crime prevention team.
Might want to do your introduction again, because you were in and out. We know who you are, but we love the audience, all of those folks who are at home watching us.
Good morning, Adam Flores with the District Attorney's Office. I'm a supervising Deputy District Attorney. I supervise our Community Prosecution Unit, our crime prevention unit in the DA's office.
Good morning, Chairperson Arenas and members of the committee. My name is Bernice Aguilera Tony, South County Task Force Program Manager, also with the CPU unit at the District Attorney's Office.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to be controlling our slides and also doing the presentation, so my apologies if there is a glitch. I will do my best. So we are here to present you with the semi-annual update on the South County Youth Task Force Strategic Plan implementation. So as many of you are aware, the South County Youth Task Force is a youth-focused violence prevention and intervention collaborative that serves Santa Clara County communities, including the city of Morgan Hill, the city of Gilroy, and the community of San Martin. The task force seeks to promote a safe and nurturing community that creates and ensures sustainable access to opportunity, resources, and services for South County youth and their families, while empowering their voice and supporting growth and success. The task force is led by the Office of the District Attorney, and my colleagues here at the staff table have a direct role in that. And they work with cities and communities of South County, affiliated school districts, and various county departments, notably the probation and public health departments, to structure effective programs and interventions And task force services and activities are funded through various funding sources, which include general fund monies, grant funding, and in-kind support from local cities and also from our county departments. So the current strategic plan outlines 5 primary goals, which you will see on the slide in front of you, and there is an accompanying work plan that outlines specific activities designed to effectuate each goal. So we wanted to note that the task force has made significant progress in completing their work plan, with nearly 90% of all activities on track or completed as of September 2025. The next few slides highlight some of the key achievements, which include the highly utilized and very treasured restorative diversion program, which is now in its 3rd year. There are 2 current applications for state funds to support violence interruption and intervention services. Led by the DA's office, these grants would support efforts in both the city of San Jose. This is in partnership with the San Jose Youth Empowerment Alliance, or SJYA, and one in South County for hospital-based intervention services at the county's St. Louis Regional Hospital in Gilroy. We have not received award notification yet. We were hoping to have a positive update for all of you, but we're hoping to receive those awards in October or November. I've reviewed the applications and they're extremely competitive, and so we have high hopes. Also this year, the task force has really sought to develop really deep partnerships with local promotoras to help improve health access and equity, which we're happy to answer some questions about later in the presentation. They're also really working to deepen their partnerships and collaboration with the South County school districts and to include school-based violence interruption services at impacted schools that are both in Morgan Hill and Gilroy. And they're currently developing a community government academy to help build trust between impacted youth and our local government offices. I think I may have agreed to help chair that committee. So beginning in early 2026, they will begin the strategic plan development for their new plan for 2027 through 2029. That process will begin with focus groups with relevant community-based and local partners and other critical stakeholders, including the youth themselves, to ensure that the plan is responsive to needs and also to service gaps. In addition, it's anticipated that the conversations will sadly include discussion about recent aggressive federal efforts to detain and to deport undocumented immigrants. As we know, South County is at particular risk for those activities, as well as discussion about significant local and state deficits related to H.R. 1, which could limit future funding opportunities. These next 2 slides go into a little bit of greater detail about the development of the timeline for the new strategic plan. And the task force anticipates that the final draft will be circulated to stakeholders for feedback next winter, with the final draft presented to partners in December of 2026 to be implemented in January of 2027. So I'm sure we have questions from our esteemed committee, but this concludes just the verbal presentation, and we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. We're going to first check with our public comment and see if there was anybody online.
We do not have any requests to speak.
Okay, I'll look to my vice chair.
Thank you to staff for the presentation, to District Attorney's Office, to South County Youth Task Force, and to Casey for your leadership. Really, I would like to follow your comments and really interested in seeing your thoughts and hearing your feedback, as this is something that was really driven by your leadership and directly affecting your district, Chair.
Oh, of course. Actually, no, this is not my leadership. Bernice, who is sitting with us, Adam, and of course Casey work together, and it's really, truly a South County effort that I've stepped into, and I'm really grateful for. As we have seen in this last week, how important it is for your task force. You were so organized. You're so organized that you were able to provide the services that were needed in a very critical incident last week that ended a student in the hospital. And so, I'll ask some questions from our staff. Well, you know what? Now that I'm on this item, I will ask about it. So there was a shooting last week in Gilroy, one of our that emanated from one of our schools, and there was a call for support service to our behavioral health department, yet behavioral health, I believe, there isn't a protocol that outlines exactly our role as county for critical incidents like this. And so I'm wondering, when there is a task force like the South County Task Force asking for support, how is it that we are organizing? So who wants to answer the question? I'm like, Wendy's looking at me. I'm going to look at Greta around this. And so I know that behavioral health stepped out. I don't see anybody else from behavioral health here. And so the question was, there was a critical incident, a shooting that started in one of our schools in Gilroy. And it was the first time that our superintendent reached out in the way that I think it should happen. Yet there isn't a protocol, and it wasn't very clear, and I don't think that we were helpful in being responsive to the incident. And so our South County Youth Task Force kind of took the reins and just organized themselves and the service providers. So I'm wondering if there's an opportunity for us to establish a protocol, not just for our South County Youth Task Force, but for all of our schools that are participating through schooling services or otherwise. When there is a critical incident, what is our protocol?
I'm happy to hear a little bit more from our teams about exactly what happened with that incident, exactly what gaps may have been identified through the outreach that occurred, and also to look forward to the establishment of the working group that was referenced with schools to better understand what they anticipate their needs would be. As you know very well, our schools are in different postures with respect to the resources that they have internally to deal with critical incidences, and also how often they're facing those types of circumstances. So I think what we can do is really look to make sure that we have a good sense. I think this is consistent with exactly what you're suggesting about a protocol of making sure that we have sort of pre-identified what may be the parts of the county where schools may reach out with needs, who's best situated to step forward with resources as we have them available to meet whatever those requests may be. And it may be that the plan looks a little bit differently. Obviously, we have the benefit of having the South County Youth Task Force as a resource for schools that might reach out with needs in South County, whereas we wouldn't have that for as a resource for other parts of the community, but really try to organize that both in the context of South County specifically, but more broadly. So we can get back to you on that.
Yeah, I think at the very least, it could have been the MCRT teams that could have responded quickly, right? Because they're meant to respond quickly. And so I don't want to start off this conversation this way, but unfortunately, I have this question because I know that South County has been underserved, and I think the recognition is not just from myself, but from my colleagues and all administration that South County historically has been underserved, and so they're not going to have the same kind of resources. Do they have the same determination to support their community? Absolutely. The energy and the want is there, but the resources are different, and so I just think when a part of our county that has referrals coming into our child welfare system, that has one of the highest, I think, top 3 gun violence incidents, that has gender-based violence, a lot of referrals coming and incidents coming from that part of their county, that we recognize the need and we ask, how can we serve you and how can we support you? And I don't think that was the question that was being asked.
Well, happy to, I will say that I don't know the details of exactly what occurred with this incident, and I will definitely track those down, and happy to have a conversation with you offline about what I learn about this incident specifically. But I definitely agree that we have opportunities to make sure that we have organized ourselves in advance of folks reaching out with various needs and can then be more timely and effective in responding to those needs. So look forward to hearing a little bit more about what opportunities we can discern from what happened in this incident specifically.
Perfect. Were you going to look for any additional responses, or that's, we can go ahead and move on?
Chairperson, if I can lean in. So I was unfortunately out of the office last week, and like Ms. Hanson, I am not aware of the incident, but I'm happy to lean in and work closely with the task force. I do have some experience because of my prior roles in working with mass victimization and mass shootings, collaborating very closely with the San Jose Unified School District on protocols related to shootings and violent incidents on campus. To Ms. Hanson's points, I think that it's hard to compare San Jose to Gilroy. That said, I think we can learn some lessons from the protocols we have with San Jose, and I'm happy to work with Bernice and Adam from the lessons learned in San Jose and work very closely with those districts to help to develop a protocol.
Absolutely, and I think the youth intervention services over at the city of San Jose probably would be the best, and Olympia probably would be a really great contact to connect with.
We're happy to work on that, Chairperson.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm going to move on from this. I want to just really highlight the work that you are all doing is just absolutely impressive. Your strategic goals. First of all, that you have a strategic plan in place and that you're following it and that you involve not only us as members, but our community and definitely our youth, to me is something very admirable and I think in tune with who you are and who we want South County to be. And so I'm really proud, I'm really grateful for all the wonderful work. I know that there is plenty of work left to be done. And part of the work that I wanted to continue to see is from probation, because in the last fiscal year, I did ask for an additional in-kind from probation. There was 2 positions and I only see 1 position. And so I know the board has already approved it. It's not something that we are approving today. And so I'm wondering what actions are necessary to resolve this?
So we do, since 2017, we've been blessed to have a full-time probation officer, Pia Rose Panda from the education unit. That original MOU was completed about 2020. And so luckily we've had that position. Originally it was paid part-time by the city of Gilroy, paid part-time by PD probation, and probation was really abundant in allowing us to keep that probation officer. We have been having conversations with program manager Ignacio Montes about an MOU and bringing that up since the other one sunrise quite a few years ago. So I think that's the second position we're referring to, a community worker that will be accompanying the PO. So I think they're working on something right now and should be sending that over to us shortly.
So is Rose currently actively supporting the South County Youth Task Force?
Yes. She does a lot of great things. She can actually girls groups, late night gym support, positive school climate, positive community climate.
Okay, so she's one, but where is the other one? I guess I'm wondering.
Yeah, and I'm happy to follow up with probation and respond to you offline, but I can say I know that they've been doing a lot of support through the neighborhood safety unit, specifically through Myra Flores, who's been doing quite a lot of coordination with the South County Youth Task Force. I also did want to note, separate from probation, that we also have a community worker on site at Christopher High through social services and DFCS, and I know that they've also been working really closely with both probation and the task force to coordinate response, but we're happy to provide a report to you offline with more information.
That would be wonderful. Obviously, you all are doing just fabulous work. I'm asking questions that relate to some of the things that I had asked for in terms of support, and I want to make sure it doesn't get lost, especially with all the things that are happening currently. I'm wondering about what you feel is something that is missing from in terms of resources for our South County families, our youth and families, that you currently don't have?
So I think we do what we can on a shoestring budget, and
Yes,
we're really
we do.
good to kind of push people along to make sure they contribute, that we not only react in real time, that we try to prevent and de-escalate issues from occurring. Right now, immigration is a huge force. It's a huge fear factor. So a lot of the level of relationship making is crucial in South County with families that are most marginalized. One thing we spoke about SLS, we're going to be inviting them over to policy team again. It's been a couple years since we've had them because it's crucial. The most important and impactful thing right now in a fiscal year where we're cutting so much money is to work together and knock down silos. And so we really want to complete an asset map that is robust. And that means ensuring that all the different departments at the county level, that we can share data. We understand there's programs. We understand we can't share confidentiality information, but ensuring that we know what programs exist, who is serving whom, what are the metrics and objectives of those programs, so that we can realize and see the gaps more clearly. Money always a deficit issue. We're trying to apply for more grants. We're trying to be robust and leveraging contracts and leveraging resources and supports. And while we can't do a blanket approach over South County, really looking at those opportunity neighborhoods is huge. Because if we can do more to support families where they are, then we can de-escalate arrests, we can de-escalate kids entering into our systems, we can promote healthy communities. So I think that level of leaning in as we work into a new strategic plan is going to be exceptionally important. Either we will write a new strategic plan based on the direction of our policy team, tech team, our families, South County Heals, our resident advocacy group, that are leading this work with us, or we will complete an update to the plan. And that's really looking at all the funding strategies, external environmental issues that we have upon us, as well as our coordination and approach.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I wonder if there's if last week's incident is a bit of a red flag in terms of what has been happening in South County with our kiddos, because we lack services that, having the violence set aside, I think that is a continuation school, Mount Madonna, right? And I was very concerned about the increase of suspensions that I have noted as I'm participating in South County Youth Task Force. And so I'm wondering about what the role, if any, the task force can take to maybe help mitigate some of that work or help support some of that work. Are you on site at Mount Madonna?
We do. We do have our community outreach specialist, Javier Martinez, who goes into the campus. We also have several community-based agencies that really do the work. That's their specialty, that go on to the campus. We're very fortunate that luckily the brandishing of the weapon was outside of the campus. Unfortunately, a lot of parents, it was pickup time, a lot of parents, a lot of staff, and a lot of youth witnessed what happened, and then the actual shooting happened a couple blocks down. So the community is definitely impacted. Through South County Heals, which is the health equity arm of the work that we do, which is resident-led in coalition with community-based organizations and systems, really do take the back seat and hear what the community needs, and then we attempt to work in partnership at the best of our duty to provide those resources and supports. One of those committees is the Gun Violence Prevention Committee, because we do have an abundant amount of guns on the street. Specifically, the climate we're seeing in South County, as similar to other large and rural cities in California, is that youth have really started to own some of the work for either gangs, narcotics, selling, and so we're seeing a lot of the problems we used to see with adults with juveniles. what we're trying to do is work not only upstream, downstream, we do intervention also, and we try to be as holistic as possible. So
Right.
our faith-based partners, Victory Outreach, Youth Alliance, Community Solutions, Rebecca's Children, Garas, whatever the specialties are, we really try to see the young folks that need the most support, and we look at attendance also. So we do have a great partnership with Gilroy Unified School District. One of our more recent attempts is how do we look at the kiddos that are not in school, and how do folks, our collaboration, someone who can make that report with them, support them to get them back into school, right? Because if they're not in school and if we have resources in the schools, but they're not going into the homes, then there really isn't a way to support them until something like this happens.
Right, right. I also think that there was an opportunity, I don't know, I think you guys were here when we talked about the schooling services, and you heard that 52% of the Latino boys were utilizing the services, but it ended up being that it was part of, I think, because I think it was Catherine who mentioned that it was part of the restorative justice, so those solutions, right? And so I'm glad to understand that there's this alternative to suspensions. But I guess what I'm asking, what I'm going to ask next is what is your relationship with the Behavioral Health Department in the South County Youth Task Force?
We definitely work with schooling services, especially at the technical team meeting. They are part of our South County Heals Collaborative, and so we do have a lot of interactions with them at the school sites. I think a great next step is bringing them back into the policy team so we can have more of a robust discussion of the bigger programmatic aspects and how we can work more closely together. So I think that opportunity does exist.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen them for, I don't know, maybe the whole year. So I'm going to ask Greta if you could help ensure that behavioral health continues to attend our South County Youth Task Force policy meetings, but because I think they just dropped off.
Happy to connect with them on that.
Perfect, perfect. I think these are the kinds of connections that are really crucial, especially when there's something like this that happens. And I agree that trauma happens because you mentioned that parents witnessed a lot of this. Parents and families are then traumatized and impacted, and this is a effort for our county to help support our community in a way that is meaningful. And so I'm going to ask our behavioral health department to figure out a way to take on that role or to be part of that role, because I see that they were missing from this piece. And when I heard about it, this is a 17-year-old who was shot in the face. And, I think about my own son, and I think about how about if I was picking up my son and I witnessed those things, and I witnessed a fight that I couldn't do anything about. This is truly traumatic for a community. And as a county, we are that safety net. And if we're not helping in the moment, we are failing a part of our county that has already been underserved. And so for that, I truly apologize. I know that you all did quite a bit of work in order to fill kind of our absence in that scenario. And I know that kiddo is stable and doing well and on the road to recuperation, and sending that family really good thoughts. But I wanted to end with just a lot of gratitude because all of what you've been doing for these years in terms of organizing really showed and paid off as part of this response. And I hate to see it this way, but your leadership, under your leadership, you brought the community together and the people that needed to be there in order to support our families and our community, so that it de-escalates and it doesn't move on to something greater that involves all of the families, right? So thank you for that. All right, is there anything that you would like to add before we finish?
Just
Casey?
one comment in listening to this, and I'll make sure to follow up, is it sounds like victim services may have also been an appropriate response and referral here. So I can work with the task force and the DA's office to ensure that families are connected with victim services. They also have a resiliency center in South County run out of the Neon Exchange, the Mariposa Center. So I'll make sure that those connections for the family and also any families that were nearby for the shooting and may have been impacted.
Yes, actually,
And we
Mariposa
did,
was
they were
really
actually,
crucial.
we all called
Wonderful.
them, and they were there, and they
Great.
were
Yeah.
acting, yes.
Yeah, shout out to Mariposa. The folks there were just absolutely fabulous. And maybe part of what I'll do is ask for the strategic implementation plan. And I don't know if it fits here, but you tell me if not. But I think maybe working with a county to develop a protocol on critical incidents such as either mass violence, whether they stem or are at the school or in our community. I think it's important for us to include that on the heels of this incident. Greta?
Yeah, happy to do that. And, I think also, again, I'm trying not to get ahead of learning more about what happened in this specific incident, since that's a gap, since it sounds like some folks know a lot of the details, others of us don't. But also really looking to, I'm glad, Casey, you highlighted victim services. Really appreciate hearing that they were involved. One of the wonderful things is we have a lot of different places where we've put resources for crisis response in the behavioral health realm. One of which, of course, being victim services, which is located in the district attorney's office. Obviously, also behavioral health has a lot of resources that can be brought to bear. Some of where, as we get into this much more budget constrained time, we really need to get focused is exactly also on who we're resourcing to do what, and making sure that there's also the right clarity for our staff too, because this may be, or may not be, but this may be exactly the type of situation for which we've really resourced the district attorney's victim services unit, not something that we've resourced behavioral health as the primary responder on an event like this, or there may be the need for better collaboration to say in the immediate aftermath of an incident, it's victim services, and then it transitions to more of a behavioral health lane. So appreciate some of the questions, lots of opportunity here, including opportunity to make sure that we're really clear in whose lane is what, so that we can put the resources needed to meet the community need exactly where they need to go on a go-forward basis, and have a little bit less duplication, but also real role clarity.
Yeah, and I don't think victim services participated in this incident, correct?
Supervisor Sylvia Mata with the Mariposas, that program is under the district attorney's office. She was present, and they were able to actually provide services to the school. In fact, Superintendent Munchi had provided a announcement announcing Mariposa services available to the community. So it was very beneficial to have them in South County, and we were able to contact them very soon after this happened and to get them a part of this very critical team to work together to provide services.
Right, and one is the incident, right, and the response to immediate to the incident, but the second part is the trauma that is left with the community and how to support them. And it's equivalent to when we have a child pass away in a school for whatever reason, we provide those support services, right, after the fact. And I think that the community needs that support just as much, even though they may not have been involved deeply in the incident. There's still some feelings, and people start siding with folks in terms of what they see, especially in a city, in a community that's very small. And lots of folks figure out what is happening with whom. So anyways, I appreciate that, Greta. I did get called into the incident and in the moment, and I was very disappointed in the response of our county in terms of the role that we played. So I'm hoping that we can develop a protocol so that it is clear, and that even if we know that there's other folks responding, that there is a protocol that allows for us to at the very least, do some follow-up and figure out how best to be helpful to our community. All right, so I'm gonna, did I make a motion? No, I didn't make a motion, but I'll ask my vice chair to make one for us.
Motion to receive the report.
Oh, and if we could, friendly amendment, include a protocol, so that we can develop a protocol within the South County Youth Task Force strategic plan, or wherever you see fit. Is that okay?
Amenable, yes.
Okay, wonderful. And I'm gonna second that, and we'll go ahead and take roll call.
Vice Chairperson Young?
Yes.
And Chairperson Arenas?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you're doing, and please let us know how we can continue to be helpful to South County. Although I think you've done just a really marvelous job of leading the efforts there in their community and bringing people together. It's just been very admirable. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to go back to item 7, which is receive the report from the Department of Family and Children's Services relating to the Child Welfare Corrective Action Plan and related reform efforts. And I'm going to guess, Wendy, you'll probably be presenting.
Good guess, good guess. Good
Welcome.
morning, Supervisor Arenas and Supervisor Young. I brought back for you an update on where we are with our pathway forward to improve child safety in Santa Clara County. So just some brief highlights to get you up to speed on items. So next slide. For our progress to date, we have over 50% of the 75 items that we've needed to complete. We're about halfway through. In fact, CDSS is actually on site at DFCS this morning doing kind of a midway review, both in interviews, focus groups, and have looked at our cases. So if there is any fine tuning that we need to do to our plan, we can do that. I am happy to report that early insights into that show that we are well on track and doing well. So we'll find out more from that. Next slide. In the area of safeguarding children, we really have been taking this time to do a qualitative, intentional review of the mandatory assessments that are needed. So we are fully implemented in reviewing our safety planning quality improvement tool, have launched our structured decision-making safety and risk tool. And then the other thing that just got implemented this last month is observations at our required child and family team meetings, taking a look at the quality of those and how those interactions are going. And then if you slide to the bottom of that slide, go back to the next slide, under our SDM dashboards, we are required to be at 90% in our hotline tool, SDM safety and risk, and we are at our 3rd consecutive month where we are way above 90. In fact, we are teetering close to 100% in everything, so doing really well. Next slide. For supporting and developing our workforce, we have been focused in on the build out of our legal consultation web-based training. So this will be required for all staff. We've pivoted to make sure we have a good web-based version, both for our new staff that are coming onto the county and any refreshers for staff. And then our other thing we've been focused in on is enhancing our supervision through a standardized way of documenting supervision and using technology in that. So we've been partnering around that and expect to pilot that with a few users in October and November. Next slide, we cannot do this alone, so we have continued to build our partnerships. We have been in lockstep with the California Department of Social Services. We've been working with both our leadership team, our CQI team, and our external coaches on a very comprehensive communication plan to really improve our communication across the agency, and we will be vetting that with employee groups for their input as well. And then additional collaboration, we regularly partner with other partners that are key, the Child Abuse Prevention Council, the Children's Advocacy Center, the Juvenile Justice Commission, our partnerships across Spark and our health and hospital systems, and now our newest partners, Gilroy Unified School District and Franklin McKinley, as well as our court partners as well. And then I am happy to report we had our first meeting for the roundtable just this last month as well. So that'll be a new, exciting addition. The next slide, including in, because we are really on a mission to make sure that not only do we keep children safely in the homes whenever possible or with relatives, we want them to stay in Santa Clara County. And this is a very expensive place to live. And so we really need to partner with our communities for caregivers. So continuing, we have heard that the biggest way to get caregivers is word of mouth. So the need to have more caregivers that stay in community, especially for our siblings and our most acuity youth. So continuing to do a good message of outreaching that. And then it is all of our business to make sure that kids are safe. So if you see something, making sure you're reporting that and staying in lockstep with our mandated reporters. And with that, I will be happy to take any questions on our progress.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm going to ask Camille to see if there's any public comment.
We do have one request to speak.
Okay, we'll do 2 minutes.
2 minutes, all right. Our speaker is Parent. Parent, you'll have 2 minutes to speak. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much for the presentation. I keep hearing at different meetings, Wendy Kinnear-Rausch say, if you hear something, say something. But what about for DFCS, why don't we have this slogan? If you hear something, do something. I think this is really the problem here. And I looked over the presentation and the agenda, and it says, you know, like 94%, 97%. I mean, I just don't buy it. I mean, like, how many times have I been to a meeting, or how many emails have I sent, and I don't even get a screening for my children. In the report, it says, you know, like whatever 3% or 4% cases that don't get a safety plan, it's because, you know, it was over the weekend, or the supervisor just didn't get a chance to sign it. I mean, it just sounds so innocent, but it really, I mean, there's nothing innocent about willfully and knowingly denying a screening for children who are being molested. And I think that if we really want to change things, we need to replace leadership. I mean, the Mercury News editorial board published it twice, but that's their opinion. There's a social worker that also says it. I mean, a lot of people, even the civil grand jury believes that it needs to be changed. If you want to see more information, Google Valerie Houghton, sex trafficking, and you'll see a lot of information about what's going on with my kids. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and that concludes public comment.
Thank you. I'm going to see if our Vice Chair wants to add some comments. Go ahead.
Wendy, thank you many thanks to you and your team for this monthly update. I see the incremental improvements, enhancements, and fulfillment of our goals, and thank you for that continued work. I'm really excited about the social worker program. Are we on track to start on October 15th?
Yes, we are working out the details right now. I know that we are looking at the space at Gilroy Unified School District. We will be on site at Christopher High School is where they have focused in for that. And we are going outside to Franklin McKinley this week to look at that space. So 2 workers have been selected. The one down in Gilroy happens to be Spanish speaking along with our community worker. And then the one at Franklin McKinley just happens to speak Vietnamese, which will be a nice match for that area as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much for your work in this. And I know this is specific to the corrective action plan, but wherever is appropriate, would love to have regular updates on how that program is going. And also another caveat to that is that as the Children Youth Master Plan continues to take flight, and we're looking more and leaning into co-located services as potentially one of the pathways towards mitigating our budgetary impacts by dovetailing with other organizations and entities. Would love to see what can be lifted out of this demonstration model that could be applied in other demonstration models. Yeah, and with that, thank you and good work. I'll turn it over to you, Chair.
Thank you. I have some additional questions. I know that there's been a great deal of progress, and congratulations on the completion of 27. CAP actions, and so it is no easy feat to do. I know that there's many in progress. There's some that haven't started, but I think for the most part, there's been a great deal of progress and improvement. And I guess that's part of central to what I'm hoping to learn from you is there's progress in our CAP, and we're checking some items off as part of this being completed. How do we know if it represents progress in terms of effectiveness? Are children safer than what we felt before? I know you mentioned that there would be an electronic modality to approve work from our social workers, and I wonder, will that reduce the opportunity for a supervisor to review? So say, for example, the safety plan that needs to get signed off. I know they're at 78% on average in terms of a supervisor's signature. And I know that what we want to do is have that be increased, but does it represent that somebody else has taken a look at that safety plan, agreed with the way that it's written and the recommended decision and actions to support that child? How are we ensuring that our safety plans are effective? Not only that they're getting done. I know part of what we need to do is get them done, but how do we know they're the right actions to take?
Really appreciate that question, and a couple different things. I would say part of what we're doing is not only checking off boxes, but changing the culture of the way we do stuff, the culture of making sure that every child and family matters, and that we have to make sure that we are doing our due diligence around that. And one of the things that's required in child welfare is to make sure we're documenting all of that. And so the last several months have been focused in on these quality audit tools to take a look at how well are we doing that work, and then having good feedback loops. And you've lifted up one of the areas we need to improve is that supervisor signing afterwards. And now it's what's getting in the way of that. Why is it not done? Why is it not done timely? How do we need to support around that? And how do we set a clear expectation for the level of work that we want within the department? Part of what we've done is slowing down a little bit, building those dashboards, building those quality reviews, putting that as part of the culture and part of the practice. So it's going to exist going forward. So for the generations to come that are working in child welfare, Santa Clara County Child Welfare has this high standard. We're going to work to that quality of work so that every child and every family that comes before us has the services they need and the quality of work that we want to be done. And so at every level of the workforce, that's what we're trying to aspire to.
No, and I love it. I love it. I'm just wondering, when you say what you're focused on is changing the culture, what has been the most effective thing that you've done to change that culture?
I just want to add one thing, because this is something I think is going to be really helpful, and then Wendy should answer as well. One of the main focuses of the last couple months has been the academy that's graduating, and the development of and refinement of both the trainings that happen within the academy, and then the support from supervisors with using, when they graduate in December, training specific supervisors to respond to the staff feedback, especially of newer social workers in the front end, so those that are working in emergency response, of wanting to have a lot more support and kind of ability to work very directly with someone that's seasoned, that's a supervisor that wants to work with new social workers. So I think when we think about how are we really supporting the workforce so that especially new social workers that are coming on board feel like they're supported, feel like they are not kind of moving into really difficult situations with uncertainty, they have that supervisor support. I don't know, I think this is a really big development for the department when we talk about culture change and really responding to workforce asks and feedback. Supervisor, I think this is something that's external to the CAP, but very much related to listening to our workforce and making adjustments. So I just wanted to flag that, because there has been a lot of work in that space that doesn't necessarily show up in these corrective action plan updates, but I think it'll be really important to how we bring on new social workers that are much needed and make sure that we are supporting them on their journey to become experts.
That makes a lot of sense. What do we do for the folks who are current? I mean, you know, with each academy, there's a hope to build the culture that we want, right? Because they're new to our network. What is happening with the supervisors? Is it what I'm hearing you say is are you utilizing the supervisors that do well in terms of providing support to those social workers that, and you know, just like any other person, sometimes we do better in this realm and less in that other. We're not everything to everyone.
No, and the one thing, if I had to highlight anything that's really different from last year, is that we now have really clear CQI efforts and tools in place that give us a really good lens back to the work that we're doing. What are we doing that's really well? Where do we still need to improve? And how are we having that inform and support our supervisors, our managers, and our line staff? Because we know that what we are doing well, if we focus in on that and really highlight that, pays off. And then we know that focusing in and better understanding those things where we still may be struggling and what isn't getting in the way of that is helping us move our workforce and our work with families tenfold. So that's the biggest thing I would say that's different.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know that changing a system is not going to happen overnight, and it's certainly not in 6 months, and potentially not even in a year. I know it takes at least, I think research says, at least 3 years with consistent changes and support and strong communication to the workforce in order to achieve that systems change. And so I'm not expecting everything to happen, but you know, I continue to ask these questions as you know, I follow this really closely. I have some other questions, but I know because of the time constraint, I'm not going to ask them, but I am offline will ask you about some additional overrides and just how we're evaluating the effectiveness of the ER social workers, as I know that they are the ones typically with the least experience assigned a very important role that they play. And then, you know, there's a couple of more questions, but I'll ask them offline for the sake of our meeting. I want to thank you for all the really wonderful work that you're doing. I know that it isn't done, but I can certainly feel confident in saying that I know that through you and, of course, Dan and Sarah, that you've all done a great deal of work to make sure that our systems are shifting. And I ask you to continue to and not lose your focus there, because I know that it's going to take quite a bit of time for us to get out of this cap process, but that is also an opportunity for us to continue to do system changes. And please count on myself as support and advocate, even though I know I ask a lot of questions, isn't meant to question you, but really to question the system and how it's shifting. All right, so I'm hoping to get a motion.
Motion to receive report.
Wonderful, and I'm going to second that, and we'll go ahead and take roll.
Vice Chairperson Young?
Yes.
And Chairperson Arenas?
I'm going to say yes, too.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, so we have our last item, which is receive report from the Office of County Executive relating to state legislation, proposed 2026 legislative policies in the CSFC legislative bill ideas. Welcome.
And
Last
I'll
but
just
not least.
lean in to just say that Deputy County Executive David Campos sends his regrets. He had a hard stop at noon, but we are joined by our very capable team who will provide this report.
Perfect.
Good afternoon, Chair and Vice Chair. We have prepared a short presentation for you, but before we get there, I'm going to ask my colleagues to introduce themselves. Oh, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Monica Tong. I am with Intergovernmental Relations in the Office of the County Executive.
Good afternoon, Elaine Trin, Program Manager with Intergovernmental Relations.
And good afternoon, I'm Mary Hannah Weir, Lead Deputy County Counsel.
Thank you so much. As you see here, we have a strong partnership between the Office of the County Executive and the Office of the County Council, and we are here today to present the semi-annual legislative report as a follow-up to our May report to you earlier this year, and bring you the suggested edits to the 2026 Children, Seniors, and Families chapter of the Legislative Policies document. As a quick overview, IGR is responsible for managing the county's legislative program, and that's part of what we're going to talk about today. The platform does include 4 different parts that are all approved by the Board of Supervisors. The first is the legislative policies document that provides us with the authority to engage in bills and budget throughout the year, bill ideas, priorities, and funding. Move on. As seen on the earlier slide, the legislative policies document does provide us the authority to engage, and this year, as approved by our board, the county sponsored and co-sponsored 4 bills in the CSFC arena. The information included in the legislative file is a point in time, so we will include the most recent information today as we speak to you. The legislature did wrap up its 2025 year on September 13th, one day later than they had anticipated. So the governor does have until October 13th to sign or veto bills. The county-sponsored or co-sponsored bills in CSFC area include AB 243 by Assemblymember Patrick Ahrens, AB 1025 by Assemblymember Gail Pellerin, SB 261 by Senator Wahab, and SB 33, which is our co-sponsored bill with Supervisor Dave Cortese. Two of the bills, AB 243 and SB 261, are still on the governor's desk. He has about 400 bills left to review, so we are hopeful for some good news by next week. AB 1025 was held, and SB 33 was made into a 2-year bill. Additionally, in coordination with many of the departments that are joining us today, and we'd like to thank them for their partnership, we engaged many bills in the CSFC policy area, as seen in Attachment A to the legislative file today. A few of them are here, and just one quick update. AB 524 by Assemblymember Wilson was vetoed late last week. The remaining bills are still pending on the governor's desk, so we'll be sure to provide that full update when we come back to the full board in November. I will now turn it over to Elaine to discuss the suggested edits to the ledge policies.
Thanks, Monica. So the legislative platform, including the legislative policies document, is updated annually. This slide provides an overview of the process and timeline for the update. And the review of the legislative policies document began in June. Throughout July and August, IGR and the County Council's Legislative Affairs team met with over 30 departments and agencies to discuss legislative policy edits, as well as hear about any bill ideas that they're considering, and to prepare us for the October board policy committees as we are doing today. And so throughout September, we reviewed them with County Council, what we like to call a large group countywide project with review from various levels of the departments and agencies. And we are anticipating to go to the full board in November for approval. And so just a quick recap, the legislative policies document is divided by the 5 board policy committees. It provides IGR the authority to engage on legislation, regulatory actions, or budget items, as Monica demonstrated earlier with the semi-annual update. And it allows us to communicate our support and opposition, and we may seek board approval on emerging policy issues on a case-by-case basis. As a quick overview of some of the suggested edits to the CSSC legislative policies document is to reflect the changing landscapes in Congress and the state legislature that have impacted the department's work, the clients that they serve, or issues on the horizon that have been identified through various associations that our departments and agencies are part of. A few highlights of the changes in the CSFC chapter include edits and additions to capture the emerging threats by the federal government that target diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, specifically towards the immigration and LGBTQ plus communities. We made edits to emphasize and recognize the underrepresentation and the need for additional resources to support people with disabilities and families caring for individuals with disabilities, an expansion of statements to further capture the needs of older adults. Included in the ledge file is a red line document of the edits, and with that, we are happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Thank you for that presentation. I'm going to look to Camille for any public comment.
We do not have any requests to speak.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to see if my vice chair has comments. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, team, for the presentation today. I really want to appreciate some of the updates, including in priority number 9 for the update to include HB1 workers, since we realize now that no visa status is safe, or temporary status is safe here. There is I was at an immigration community meeting last night, and one of our state legislators, Senator Cortese, brought up AB 1261, and that is proposing a state-funded program to provide legal representation for undocumented minors in immigration court. So I'd like to add that to your plate for review, consideration, and recommendation for support or other advocacy. When is sorry, I think you mentioned it during your presentation, when is the governor's deadline to veto or sign bills?
Monday, October 13th.
And I assume that all of our letters of support for various pieces of legislation that we support have been sent already?
That's correct.
Fantastic, thank you for that. And then I don't know what the turnaround time is for process-wise, but if we do end up supporting 1261, is that within the timeline that we can submit a letter of support for?
Great question, Vice Chair. It appears that the bill is still on the governor's desk, so there is possibility. We just don't know what bills he's going to sign throughout the day, so we may be ships passing in the night, but we will take a look. Thank you very much.
If he signs it before we get in front of him, that's even better. Yeah, I'm not going to be mad at that at all. For AB 495 by Member Rodriguez, would that be able, I guess this is a question for both IGR and for our DFCS and SSA team, is that for the AB 495 to strengthen tools that allow families to create formal safety plans and caregiving arrangements, would that be able to help our efforts here locally as we prepare for impending immigration enforcements that I hope never land, but we just have to be prepared?
We have been actively working to make sure we are prepared on all fronts for that. So we have lots of training in place and several small groups that are working on what's needed, actively working with our rapid response, and we will absolutely partner around any legislation or immigration that we need to be part of as well.
Yeah, thank you, Wendy. I hope that AB 495 could help with our efforts, and it kind of reads like it does. Allows us to give more tools to families. And I guess this is more of a broader question about AB 766 from Sharp Collins. That's asking for analysis. Demographic data for programming. Is that something that would help us with could help us with our own budgeting process? And I guess the framing that I'm thinking about that is much like how the Latino Health Assessment is helping us prioritize our investments, with demographic data being able to be recorded or taken at the state level. Would that help inform our budgetary decisions, our state budgetary decisions that we can attach ourselves to?
That's a great question, Vice Chair. I think the AB 766 by Ms. Sharp Collins asks the departments that are under the governor's purview to create essentially racial equity planning So hopefully that means that their decisions will be made based on those plans, and we can continue monitoring that. But those are the department level, cabinet department level plans.
Yeah, I hope that that does pass and that we're able to glean off of those values and priorities when we, to help with some of the challenges that we're facing with Medi-Cal cuts. Yeah, well, thank you for continuing to monitor. That's the question. Like, the ask is for us to continue monitoring the outcomes of all these bills that we support, but also operationally, for me, of interest in this committee is AB 766, AB 495, and AB 1261, if we could add that to our priority setting. Thank you. With that, I yield.
Are you adding that as a motion?
Does that need a motion? Happy to make a motion. All right, make a motion to receive the report with request to continue tracking the developments of AB 495, AB 766, and then the potential of adding AB 1261 to our list of priority bills to support.
I'll second that. And we can go ahead and call roll on that.
Vice Chairperson Young?
Yes.
And Chairperson Arenas?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, so we are almost to the end. We have one last item, which is, oh no, we have an item to adjourn. I thought we had our reports.
No, you're right. You have item 12, the announcements.
Oh,
You're
you
completely
know what?
right.
It was left out of my agenda. Yes, item 12, announcements, and if we can go this way, down, and just remember we're all on lunch hour.
Good afternoon, Chairperson Arenas and Vice Chair Young, Daniel Little, SSA Director. A couple announcements. Very excited that the Hub and Parkmore Apartments are getting to the grand opening October 20th. Hub operations will move then to the new facility by the end of the month, and that's in order to minimize disruption to the youth served. We had another successful summer of senior safari. The final one for this year is October 23rd at 9 a.m. Also for Department of Aging and Adult Services, it has exceeded the state's required compliance rate for reassessments this last fiscal year. Big thank you to our DOS Director, Vanessa Merlano, and the incredible IHSS staff and everyone who made that possible. And finally, the Department of Employment and Benefit Services has been collaborating with health and hospitals and other key partners to proactively reach out to clients, especially those in the undocumented population, to ensure continued access to health care coverage. This joint outreach effort focuses on helping individuals retain their existing benefits and apply for full scope Medi-Cal while eligibility remains available, which is really critical right now. So with that, I'll pass it on or answer any questions.
Actually, I do have a question, darn it. Is there a focus in South County at all to enroll folks?
Yeah, and actually, maybe see if Ilona has some specifics.
Yes, Supervisor, we're working with South County Collaborative to do sessions in South County to continue to enroll those that are not already enrolled. And if people are falling off of it for not cooperating with a redetermination, we're doing targeted outreach.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can post on our social media. I'm happy to help out and then distribute to also the electeds throughout the south part of the county.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you. Go right ahead. Whoever wants to give an announcement next.
Don Simone, Deputy Director, Child Support Services. Nothing new to report.
Well, that is very precise. All right, so thank you so much for the... Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I always forget to look to my left. I apologize.
Good afternoon, Alex V., Assistant Chief Probation Officer. Just wanted to highlight that Telemundo recently did 2 or 3 pieces on the probation department. Very well put, so we'll be sure you get that so you can take a look.
Oh my gosh, send that to us. If it's a good clip, we'd love to put that on social media as well. Congratulations.
I'll just chime in to say I've seen the reporting. It's really nice, detailed highlight of the work, and definitely something that we should be circulating widely because it's excellent.
Thank you. Well, with that, I'll say thank you for having your participants as part of our panel at the Health Summit, Latino Health Summit, as well as some of you who also helped out our public health department, behavioral health. Thank you for all that you have done. My announcement is October 19th. We have a open streets event happening in Morgan Hill. And so Gilroy. And the following one is in Morgan Hill. So anyways, if you happen to live in the south part of our county, please join us and have a wonderful rest of the day. We are adjourning this meeting.